Welcome back everybody to my third annual anime special, where for the month of May I'm just going to talk about anime. Every Tuesday I'll be releasing a special anime related video because anime, get it? Anime, yeah, the month of May, pretty fun. This is my third year doing it. Previously I reviewed like Attack on Titan, Ponyo, ranked the Studio Ghibli movies, but in honor of the new Detective Pikachu movie, I'm going to share with you guys my top 10 favorite Pokemon. So when I thought of this list, I didn't want to have a list of the top 10 most powerful Pokemon. I wanted to have it based off of the video games, the manga, the show, just different things that I've seen of Pokemon, because I am a huge fan of Pokemon and I've played all of the games and I've seen all of the shows, all the movies, so I have a vast experience of Pokemon. So when thinking of this list, it's based off of what I think of the Pokemon, and it might be that it's adorable, or it might be a Pokemon that I saw a lot on the show, or had this Pokemon on my team in one of the games for many times. So it's not going to be like a bunch of really strong Pokemon. You might have some Pokemon that are very weak in here. But enough talking. Comment down below with your top 10 favorite Pokemon, not the best Pokemon, the favorite Pokemon. And let's start this list off with number 10, Jolteon. Jolteon is my favorite evolution of Eevee. Growing up, I always adored Jolteon for its design and the electricity, because Pikachu was very popular and I always thought electric Pokemon were really cool. And so having Jolteon in there I thought was awesome. I think that Eevee is a unique character and that Eevee can evolve into many different kinds of Pokemon. And so you also have in Generation 1 you have Flareon, Vaporeon, and Jolteon. And all three of them are really cool, but I just find Jolteon to be the coolest of the three. And then you have Umbreon and Espeon, Leafeon and Glaceon, and Sylveon I think is the last one. And so out of the bunch, Jolteon is my favorite. Coming in at number 9 is Porygon. Porygon is another Generation 1 Pokemon from Red, Blue, and Yellow video game series. And like Jolteon, I really like Porygon's design. I like how it looks, and it does eventually evolve into Porygon 2 and Porygon Z. But in the original video games and the Pokemon cards and the toys or whatever, I always was drawn to Porygon's design and his abilities. I like the fact that Porygon was created, and I do like the color scheme of pink and blue. It fits the Pokemon very well. Coming in at number 8 is Gengar, and I like Gengar for a personal reason of watching the episode in the original Pokemon show where Ash is in Sabrina's gym town and he encounters Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. I don't remember too much of that episode, but I do remember that everybody was afraid of Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar because they were ghosts. But at the end of the episode, they just wanted to be friends and they wanted to have fun. And I was always drawn to that episode. Whenever I think of Gengar, I think of the Mega Evolution of Gengar, or look at Gengar Pokemon cards, or just Gengar toys. I always think of that episode, and I have vivid memories of seeing that episode at my grandma's house and just really enjoying that episode. There's a lot of Pokemon episodes that I enjoy, but that episode stands out as one of my favorites, and that's why I like Gengar. Coming in at number 7 is Cresselia, which is a legendary Pokemon from the Diamond and Pearl video game series, the 4th generation of Pokemon. Now, Diamond and Pearl might be the Pokemon games that I have played the most, besides maybe Yellow, because when I was in about 10th grade, I got a Nintendo DS and I got Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. I played Diamond more than Pearl, and I had the goal of trying to capture all of the Pokemon from all the generations and putting them in my PC. And one of the hardest ones to get was Cresselia, because Cresselia always bounced around, just like Entei and Suicune. You had to just find them and then they would bounce around. So I spent a lot of time trying to capture Cresselia, and so I think that's why I like Cresselia so much. I like that it said it's to be a symbol of the crescent moon, which I can totally see in its design. And it's supposed to bring happiness in your dreams. That makes it very sweet. I spent hours and hours and hours playing Diamond and Pearl in high school, and I always adored Cresselia. And after I captured Cresselia, I was so happy. Coming in number 6 is Darkrai, which is another 4th generation Pokemon from the Diamond and Pearl series. And I enjoyed Darkrai from the video game series, but I also enjoy him in his movie, The Rise of Darkrai. It's one of my favorite Pokemon movies, and I think Darkrai was a good Pokemon to have to be the center of that movie. Coming at number 5 is Charizard. I vividly remember my mom taking me to the mall when I was younger and buying me a Charizard holographic card from the first set of Pokemon cards for 18 bucks. And I didn't know at that time that was a lot of money. But for a card, that seems to be a lot of money. But I still have that card, and I tend to collect a lot of Charizard cards. And he is just a really cool Pokemon, and they've really made him popular throughout the years, making the few different Mega Evolutions for the few last video games. But Charizard is widely popular and regarded as one of the coolest starter evolutions. The design is great, and they did a great job of him in the show as well. Very stubborn to Ash Ketchum. And I just love his moves. I love the way he looks. Charmander and Charmeleon are great as well. But Charizard stands out for many different reasons. And I can see why so many people like Charizard and often go to fire Pokemon as their starters. Whenever I play a new Pokemon game, I always go for a fire Pokemon. And that has to do because of what I chose as when I was younger. I chose Charmander, and then I chose Cyndaquil. And then I just went on with Torchic, and the rest is history. And every time I get a new Pokemon game, it's always the starter Pokemon is fire because of Charizard. Because so powerful, so strong, and so cool. Coming at number 4 is Mew. Mew is adorable, and I love Mew in the first Pokemon movie. Mew was very legendary, and I remember getting that special Pokemon card from the 90s when the first Pokemon movie released, and it was like an ancient type of Pokemon card, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I still have that card. It was in the 90s when the first Pokemon game was released. Mew was crazy popular, and I remember my mom winning a Game Boy Color, a yellow Game Boy Color that had Jigglypuff, Togepi, and Pikachu on the cover of that Game Boy, and she also won Pokemon Yellow, and she won them from KB Toys before it shut down. But on that Pokemon Yellow game was a level 5 Mew, and eventually I erased the game and erased that Mew, but I remember turning it on and having that Mew on that game, and I thought that was absolutely crazy that no other people of my friends group had this game just like mine. Mine was special, and it had Mew on it. I thought that was so cool, and I always remember getting it for, I think, Christmas time, and opening it and turning the game on immediately, and there was Mew. He was in my party, and I was ready to use him on the first gym against Brock, and that's why he sits at number 4. Coming in number 3 is Lugia. Lugia is another legendary Pokemon. This one is from the 2nd generation of Pokemon. The Pokemon Silver game is based off of Lugia. And I saw the Pokemon 2000 movie in theaters. And after that, I had a few different Pokemon toys. But I had this really large Lugia toy that if you, like, turned its wing, it would make a song from the Pokemon movie. So I had that card, I had that toy, and I remember going to Toys R Us and opening a pack of Pokemon cards and getting a Lugia card, and I was so excited. I just love Lugia based off of that toy. When I was younger, I have vivid memories playing with that toy and the cards that I got as well. But I also like how they approached the character in the Pokemon movie. He was nowadays there's so many different legendary Pokemon that the term of a legendary Pokemon just doesn't seem as strong as it used to be. But with the Pokemon 2000 movie and the way that people talked about Lugia, it made it seem like it was a very legendary Pokemon that many people have never seen before. And he lived underwater, and I thought that was so mysterious. And then when they revealed Lugia around Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno, I thought it was one of the coolest reveals of a Pokemon in any of the Pokemon movies, and that's why he sits at number 3. Coming at number 2 is Flabébé. Yes, Flabébé, the really common small Pokemon. When I obtained Flabébé in the Sun and Moon series, I thought Flabébé was the cutest thing I have ever seen in my life. It was so cute that I put an Everstone on Flabébé so it would never evolve because I loved how it looked. And I actually ended up buying a Flabébé stuffed animal because Flabébé is super cute. And so I have no other reasons besides that it is adorable, and I love the way Flabébé looks. It's been in my party forever, and it's really strong, and I have no intentions of ever letting it evolve because it is the cutest thing I have ever seen in my life. And my wife makes a lot of jokes whenever I talk about Flabébé. She has these ongoing jokes about Flabébé, and I think Flabébé is the cutest, littlest thing I have ever seen, and I will not back down from it. But coming in at number 1 is Staraptor. Staraptor is the only Pokemon in the Diamond and Pearl game series that I leveled up to 100. So I spent a lot of time with Staraptor. He was my main Pokemon, my go-to Pokemon. So I felt like I created this bond with this little Pokemon inside this game. Obviously, I spent hours and hours and hours seeing the back of Staraptor as he was battling in the Pokemon game. And so I learned a lot about the Pokemon, and I felt comfortable using him in battle. And so I felt like I just had this bond with this Pokemon in this game. So I've always loved the design of Staraptor, Staraptor's moves, Staraptor's abilities, whatever it may be. I always went to Staraptor, and so Staraptor is my favorite Pokemon based off of that reason. It's not one of the coolest Pokemon, but I've seen it so much, and I leveled it to 100, and for a personal reason, I like it, and it sits at number 1. So Staraptor for me is my favorite Pokemon. So there you guys have it, my 10 favorite Pokemon. This was a hard list because there is so many Pokemon and so many cool Pokemon. But I'm curious, what are your 10 favorite Pokemon? Leave your comments down below. I'm curious to see what your list is. You guys can check out other anime videos I did in the past. Stay tuned for upcoming Tuesdays. I got some favorite ranking videos and other videos as well. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and stay up to date with more anime videos. My name is JustinWatchesMovies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.